Ethan had left behind the battlefield, trading war zones for a quiet suburban street. Once a respected special forces operative, he had stepped away from service, not because he wanted peace, but because he couldn't fit into a world that didn't make sense to him anymore. His mind was sharp, trained, always scanning, but his temper, his loyalty, his intensity didn't belong in civilian life. So he settled into a calm life with his wife Emma, a school teacher who loved him deeply and believed he deserved a fresh start. They moved into a modest home on a peaceful lane where neighbors smiled and fences were painted white. Next door lived the Sams. Mr. Sam, a tech consultant, his soft-spoken wife, and their cheerful little daughter, Ava. Ava often played in their backyard, her laughter echoing through the neighborhood. She'd wave at Ethan each time she saw him, calling him Captain Ethan, after overhearing Emma's stories. It warmed his heart. But one rainy Thursday evening, Ava went missing. The entire neighborhood panicked. Police cars swarmed the block, flyers were posted, and search teams scoured nearby parks and woods. The Sams were devastated, especially Mrs. Sam, who seemed more afraid than heartbroken. Something about their behavior didn't sit right with Ethan. While the police treated it like a routine missing child case, Ethan's instincts screamed something was wrong. He couldn't just stand by. Using the skills honed in years of covert missions, Ethan began his own investigation. He started mapping Ava's last known movements, reviewing neighborhood CCTV footage, and quietly observing the neighbors. At night, he used infrared binoculars to watch the Sam's house. He noticed Mr. Sam sneaking out at odd hours, always returning tense and sweaty. Emma warned him not to get too involved, but she saw the fire in his eyes. The same fire from the days he wore the uniform. Ethan broke into their trash, finding shredded papers and old photos. One picture showed Ava in a military facility, the kind that shouldn't exist. He used old contacts to trace the building and learned something chilling. Years ago, Ethan had been part of a classified operation involving experimental psychological programs on children. He thought the project was shut down, but Ava, she was born from that program. Her real parents were not the Sams. The twist hit hard. Mr. and Mrs. Sam were not her real family. They had been assigned to watch Ava, to monitor her growth and behavior as she aged. Ava had certain enhanced abilities: memory retention, pattern recognition far beyond her age. The project had tried to replicate super soldier traits in children using controlled environments, and Ava was one of the last living experiments. When Ethan learned this, guilt flooded him. His signature was on some of the mission files. Digging deeper, Ethan discovered Ava hadn't been kidnapped. She had escaped. She had overheard a conversation between her so-called parents about a transfer, likely to a hidden facility where they could restart the tests. She ran into the forest behind the houses, where an old underground bunker from World War II still existed. Ethan remembered that place. He had trained there once. With the clock ticking, Ethan used his tracking skills, searching for footprints, broken twigs, fiber patterns, every sign a child might have left. His years of survival training kicked in. He found the bunker, camouflaged by vines and dirt. Inside, he discovered Ava hiding, cold, scared, but alive. She clung to him, whispering, "They were going to take me away." Ethan made a choice then, a soldier's choice. He exposed everything. He sent the files to trusted reporters, confronted the Sams with the evidence, and made sure Ava was placed under protection, far away from any government reach. He also told Emma everything about his past, the dark missions, the guilt. She stood by him, stronger than ever. The neighborhood returned to normal on the surface, but Ethan knew better. The world still had shadows, but this time he wasn't running from them. He was ready.